July, everyone. We are halfway through 2023. Let's talk about our progress so far this year, starting with our wildly important goal of 100% occupancy. So we started the year with an overall average occupancy of just over 83%. So that's all communities combined, all care settings, overall average whole company. We started the year about 83%. We're finishing the first half of the year with an overall average occupancy of roughly 82%. So we've gone down a little. Ultimately, we will improve occupancy and move closer towards our WIG in the second half of the year by keeping the main thing, occupancy. And what we have to do is focus all of our efforts on driving sales and increasing customer satisfaction. As a reminder, our simple formula for success is happy team members equals happy members equals more members. And speaking of happy team members, we continue to make great strides with recruitment and retention. Year to date, we've grown our team by roughly 3.5%, and the majority of our communities have noticeably improved retention. As we begin the second half of the year and this critical update section, I'd like to end with a quote by Warren Buffett. You don't need to have extraordinary effort to achieve extraordinary results. You just need to do the ordinary, everyday things exceptionally well. Today's leadership message is the third continuation of Radical Candor. If you missed the first two parts of this Radical Candor series, I encourage you to get caught up by going to the Senior Living Community's YouTube page and watching the May and June WIG Reports. For today's message on Radical Candor, I'm going to focus on the type of feedback to give. The two most important things to remember are these. Number one, feedback should be more positive than negative. So feedback should be more positive than negative. And number two, feedback should be constant. So let's start with number one, being more positive than negative. For most of us, this is pretty hard. We work in a punitive industry, and in most work settings, it is generally easier to call out or draw attention to problems that need fixed than it is to bring attention to all the things that are going well. In some ways, that is what work is, problem solving. Well, 90%, probably more, but 90% at least of what goes on day to day in our communities is awesome. We need to celebrate that 90% as much as we can and make it far more obvious than the 10% that isn't so awesome and that we're also very focused on improving. We as a company want to give at least 10 times as much positive feedback as we do negative feedback. In addition to creating a positive environment, this makes critical feedback easier to both deliver and receive. So to be successful at this, we need to practice the second item of giving constant feedback. If feedback is limited, it is more likely to be critical, and we won't create the positive environment we all want to work in. Additionally, we won't form good habits or break bad ones. Constant feedback is a key to being successful. To stress this point, I'll share an example I've used in the past. If a plane from LA, so Los Angeles, is headed to New York City, if it starts that route pointed just 3.5 degrees, so we're talking like 90 feet, it's just 3.5 degrees south, and stays on that same trajectory without any course correcting or feedback from the pilot, that plane will end up in Washington, D.C. So we're talking like 90 inches off at the start, no feedback, no course correcting, not corrected at all. By the end of the journey, it's hundreds of miles off. Same principle applies to not reinforcing good behaviors and discouraging bad behaviors through feedback. We have to give constant feedback if we want to improve and achieve the results, end up where we want to end up. So not doing that can be quite disastrous. LA to New York and to DC. So remember, to practice Radical Candor effectively, you need to give more positive feedback than negative, and you need to give feedback constantly. This month's benefit highlight is our annual meeting. So the past couple months, we've highlighted our focus on growing team members through our career pathways, our Elevate tuition reimbursement program. One of the most unique benefits that our company offers is the annual meeting, which we'll be hosting during the first week of August this year. What we do is we bring all of our department heads plus their families together for 2 days of leadership training. We do this every year. In fact, this year will be our 29th annual meetings. It's 29 annual meetings in a row. We've always focused heavily on this. It's very important to us. It's important to our culture. The reason why I highlight this as a benefit is because we use our time together to continue growing and developing our leaders, as well as focusing on how we as directors, as community leaders, how we can better serve and grow all of our team members. More than 1 out of 5 participants this year, and almost every year, will be individuals who have grown with us and received promotions of some kind. We expect to continue that trend through our training at the annual meeting.
Jason Avery is one of our long-term staff members in dining. He just celebrated 11 years with us. Jason shows up ready to go every morning for work bright and early. Not only does he do his tasks, but he does a little bit of something for every other department to make the day smoother. Also, one of my favorite things about Jason is that when he delivers takeout orders, if he suspects or notices anything wrong with our members, he's the first to report it. So often he's found people that are sick or have fallen, and he reports it, and we're able to take care of them. Jason goes above and beyond, and he truly loves our members, and we appreciate him as he makes this team bigger and better.
Jason has been a dedicated member of our staff for a very long time. Nothing can stop him from serving our members. Recently, we had a storm during the middle of the night, and when Jason woke up before the sunrise, he found a tree down in his driveway. Now, the average person would probably call off for the day, but not Jason. He called his dad at 4:30 in the morning to bring him to work to make sure that he was here to provide hot coffee and breakfast for our members. Now, that is dedication, and it really shows that he exists to serve our members.
I want to say that Jason here, he is a very big asset here at Osprey in our dining room, property period. Jason goes over and beyond for the members as well as the staff. He is very detail orientated. He's just a great person inside and out. The members love him and he loves the members. He remembers everything about the members. He checks on them. He cares about them. He comes in early sometimes to make sure he brings them down to Continentals. He just goes over and beyond day to day without even being asked or told.
So excited to introduce to you our hero spotlight for this month, Miss Tezzy Williams from our housekeeping team. Here's Brooke Baskin to tell you more.
Tezzy is in our housekeeping department, and she went above and beyond when we had a new move-in, Miss Cheryl. She had moved from Dunedin, Florida, where she had lived for over 70 years. It was really hard for her to leave the town that she'd lived her whole life, even though she's excited to be close to her children. And Tezzy just sat with her and listened to her cry and cried with her and helped her feel seen, and just it really helped to make her transition at Marsh's Edge that much better. She's mentioned it to everyone she's met since then, and that's just something that Tezzy does all the time. She sits with people, takes the time, and makes sure that they feel like more than a member and a resident and a family member.
I've been at Marsh's Edge for 3 years, going on 4. I love my job because I am able to serve as much more than a housekeeper. People first always means something to me.
Archie is the best employee that you could ask for. He is a team player to the max. He has never hesitated to pick up a shift. He is a friend to everybody here. And we are so grateful to have him in our kitchen and just in our community.
It's always a joy to work with him. He's never aggravated or anything. Anything you ask him to do, Archie is always willing to do it.
Archie is a great worker. I enjoy working with him, and he always makes us laugh.
You're so positive. We love you. You're such a team player and such a great person here and outside of the workplace, and we thank you for loving your job and the things that you do here.
This is Debbie Drake, our maitre d', also known as the baker of our community. I nominated Debbie for the love and passion she has for Wilmore. She loves our residents. She interacts well with them, and one thing that she does that truly touches my heart is residents here in assisted living, they don't have the opportunity to bake themselves anymore, so they'll give recipes to her, and she makes sure that she makes those recipes, so even our residents are still getting those desserts that they've had their whole lifetime, and still getting to experience that, and that's special to me.
The residents are why I do it. I just I feel like I connect with so many of them. I hope that I bring them just a little bit of joy as much as they give me so much. It's a pleasure to be able to bake their recipes, and I enjoy doing it so much. Ever since COVID started, dining room closed down, they gave me the opportunity to start baking desserts, and I think I have about 400 recipes saved on Pinterest. Some good, some bad, some they like, some they don't like, and it's okay if they tell me they don't like it. I appreciate that because then I won't make it again. I love being here. Some days I wish I could be here 7 days a week just to see the smile on their faces when they come through the dining room door. Maybe I make their day just a little bit brighter by saying hi or how are you, because I know they do that for me. So I really enjoy working here at Wellmore.
Awesome work, heroes, and thank you to everyone for all you do each day to enrich the lives of our members and your fellow team members. I look forward to seeing all of our senior leaders at the annual meeting next month. Let's start the second half of the year strong, keep growing better together, and deliver the law of life to more people.